Hey friends, welcome back to Bitfumes. I'm your host Sarthak and you can also call me Ankur. This is a channel where I talk about Laravel and the cool thing about Laravel. So if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. The important thing, subscribe. Okay, in this episode, we are going to create the email verification system. So let's see what we are going to do. We want the user to register this page. Okay, and when user click register button, it will get an email with a link of the verification system. So obviously for the verification we need two things. One thing is the status. That means when the user registered but it has not verified its email. So till then the status will be 0, and after he has verified then the status will change to 1. The second thing is the token. Obviously we want a unique token to send to email, and with that token we can verify the authentication of that email. That means the link which the user is clicking is valid. Okay, so obviously we have this user table, and in this user table you can see there is no verified token or status system. Okay, so let's create that system. We go to the database and migration and user, and here I will just type and I will say verify token, and here I will say status, and obviously status will be boolean. Okay, so let's go to command prompt and type php artisan migrate refresh. Obviously it will refresh each and every table of your database, so it will roll back and create it. So let's go to the database and let's see whether everything is working or not. Yeah, we have the verified token and status field inside our database. Now what I want to do, let's try to register with the name, obviously. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, and we can see that verified token does not have default value. So let's give it a default value by going to user model and say here verify token, and obviously we want to create a token. So you have to go to register controller. Inside this register controller, when you go to this create function, down here you can see verify token, and now create a random token. So how will you create a random token? For that you will just go to database token repository and go little down, and you will find this system str random. Obviously copy this, paste it here, and obviously we have to use that str. So we have to use that str, so copy here, go at the top, paste, and now it's good. And obviously the system we have created, we does not have any default value for status. So obviously default value of status will be 0 every time the user has registered. So we will change this to 0. So now when I click refresh, and we will get error because I think there is an error. Yeah, the error is I have to use this, not semicolon, the comma is good. So click refresh and we are logged in. Let's see here. You can see we have this user. So what we want to do, we does not want the user to logged in immediately. So firstly we want to prevent the immediate login. So for this we will go to register controller again, go to this register users, and here in this register function you will find this line guard login. So obviously comment this out, and after this registration I want to redirect my user to a route which says verify email first. This is my route name will be. So obviously we does not have route name, so obviously this will be verify. Okay, now we have to create that route. So I will go here at bottom, I will create a route. I think you know how to create a route, and if you don't know, let's go and just go and watch my other videos. Okay, and if you have any problem, you can comment me anytime. Okay, so obviously we want to use the register controller which is inside this auth folder. So inside this I will create a function called verify email and give it a name of same thing, the verify email. Okay, so we does not have this function in the register controller, so just create this function here. So here I will say verify email first, and here I will return a view of verify email first inside email folder, and obviously we does not have this view also. So let's go to resource folder, views folder, and create that file. Okay, so I will type email, and inside the email this will be the name and blade.php. So it will create a folder as well as a file, and inside that file I will just use h1 tag, and here I will type verify email to activate account. So what I want to do, I want to do this thing that whenever user register, it will not logged in immediately, it will go to this page. So we have created that page, we have returned that page in our function here, we use that function for the route, and that route name will be used in this register function of the register users. So let's try, click register, and you can see verify email account. We have successfully redirected our user, and obviously you can refresh here and you can see no logged in occur. So we have successfully created, and inside here you can see, here you can find status of 0. Obviously we have created a default system for the default value of 0 for status, and this will be the verified token, and we want to send this verified token to our user. Okay, so let's again delete this, otherwise we will get an error of same email ID. So now what we want to do, we want to create a email system. So let's try to create a new function called send email, and here what I want to do, I want to create a mail of 2, and obviously we are going to place email here. So here I will say send new verify token, and inside here I will type this user, let's say this user, and you will ask me, sir, what is this user? So wait a minute, I will explain each and everything. And obviously here I will use this user. Okay, and here obviously this user and email. So now listen, what I am going to do, I want to create a mail, and I want to send this mail to the user's email which just has been created. And now I want to use a new verified token. Let's make it verify email mailable, which we are going to create just in a few minutes. Okay, so we are going to create that verify email mailable, and we want to pass the information of user to that mailable. Okay, so let's just create that mailable. So I will type php artisan make mail, and mail name is verify email. Yep, we have created the mail. So where's that mail? Mail is inside this app mail folder, verify email. So we have created a system to send the mail, and we will use this function here inside our create function. So I will type this, this with a $sign, send email, and I will just type this user, and you will find this user by typing here this user is equal to use the user model and find or fail with a ID of the user. So now the point is that I have to find the ID. So instead of this returning, we will say user is equal to this whole system, and after this the user has been just created and we will use the ID of that user which is just created. So what we are doing in a whole is that when the register button is clicked, it will create the user with this information, and that user's ID just has been created is used to find that email. We are using the user model to find this email, this user which is just has been created, and now the user's information is in this array and we will pass that to email. And now in this send email, we are using this information for the email and pass that information to our mailable. So obviously we have passed the information to our mailable. So let's go to that mailable and we have to use the user as user, and here I will type this user is equal to user and just say here public user. What this do, this will just pass each and everything to the view which we are going to send as an email. So obviously we have to use the user, okay, and obviously that will be inside app folder, okay, and similarly we have to use the user here also, which is user app user, use app user, okay. So we are using the verify email and mail, so we have to import these thing also. So use mail and use app slash mail slash verify email, okay. So we have created everything, I think correct, okay. So let's make a try and let's see. Before making a try, let's see what is going to happen. When the user click the register button, it will get send email, go to email, verify email mailable, and here is that problem, we does not have this view to send. So I will say email dot send view, simple name, okay. So what I have to create this send view, okay. So I will be inside the email folder, I will say send view dot blade dot php, and again I'm not using any bootstrap or styling, I will just show you the thing. So to verify email, click here. So this click here will be inside a anchor tag, and here I will say href will give you a route, again another route which says send email done. The name is anything you want, and obviously we want to send the user, obviously the user email first and after user token. So but this is not the correct way of doing this, so I will just delete this and create an array which says email. Obviously this not single quote, I have to use double quote. So email will be the user email and verify token will be the user, let's say verify token, okay. So we does not have this route, so let's just quickly create this route, no problem. So go to web and here I will type route get and let's say verify, and after verify I want email. Oops. And after email I want token, and let's say verify token. Okay, and obviously this will be inside auth register controller, auth and register controller at send email done. Okay, so now give it a name. Okay, we are giving a name of what? Send email done. So what we are doing, we are creating a route system here which will give you email with the email token and this everything. So let's try, and obviously we does not have this function inside our register control. Let's create that function here also. Oops. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to catch each and everything, but let's try and send email. Let's see what happened. Let's try app/user as user because the name is already used. Register controller, is that true? App/user, oh yeah, I have used already this is the thing. So click refresh and it is doing something. URL generator, there's a problem in generating a URL. So what's the problem? Okay, so the problem is here, I have to say here the code and not here. Now it's good. Try to refresh, but obviously the user has been created, so I will delete that user. 1234561 12345 register, and the connection does not match because my Wi-Fi connection is not here. Okay, so my Wi-Fi has been connected, and obviously we have to delete again. Go back 12345 12345, and it is taking time. I think it is doing something, so again it will give me an error. It's giving me this error because I have not restarted server, but now I have restarted my server, and because I have changed the .env file, so we have to make the restart of the server. So now let's go and delete the user again, and obviously we have to register again. Okay, so Sarthak Shrivastava Bitfumes 12345 12345, and I'm hoping everything is correct. So let's try. Yep, we have this system here, and we are expecting an email. That email. We're not getting email. Oops, why? Okay, I think the problem is here. I have not returned anything, so I have to return user. Okay, now let's try again. And Sarthak Shrivastava Bitfumes, and let's see. And yes, I think we get the email. Yeah, you can see we have the email, but it's not a link. So let's check why this is not link. So here is the view, because this is not the A. We have to use A here. Delete this, go back, delete the user also. So now when I want to register again, so let's see what the result will be. So now let's check the email again. We get the email and we get the click here link. So now click here and you will get this thing. So obviously inside our this function we does not have anything. So let's just check by returning. So obviously we want to return email, so we have to get the email here and obviously verify token here. So we are returning the email, so click refresh, we get the email, and if I replace it with verify token. So this will be the token. So now what we are going to do, we are just updating the user. So I will say user with a user find, or I can say where email is equal to email. Okay, and let's obviously check for token also. So I will say verify token, and this will be verify token. Okay, and I will say first. So let's check by returning user. So let's check this. So yep, we get the information, and now we want to update this status, and obviously we want to null this token so that this token can never be used in future. So what I want to do, I want to just say here return user again. So I will say if user, that means if there is a user, then what we will do, we will just update. So I will say where the same thing we have typed here. So here I will say obviously this, and now it's time for update. And update in which state? Obviously we want to update status as obviously 1, and what we want, the verify token to be null. So I will say null. Okay, I will just say return this. Okay, so if there is a user, then we will update, else we will say user not found. And obviously you can just say create a page for saying this message. Okay, so return this. Let's give it a refresh, and you will see it says column verify token cannot be null. So obviously we have to change our table system. So we have to say here null can be yes, so it can be null. Okay, now go here and click refresh. We have 1 here because we have returned this system. So this means done everything. And now let's go here, and you can see the status is 1 and token is null. And now when I go and refresh this page again, it says user not found. Okay, so in this way we can just limit our user. So obviously now as we have verified the user, so we can now log in with our credentials. So I will say here bitfumes 1 2 3 4 5 6, and yep, we are logged in. And obviously when the status will be 0, then we cannot log in. So let's try, and yep, we cannot log in here. Okay, so now it's time for you to check and correct each and everything. So if you don't know how to set up this thing, that means if the status is 0 and the user cannot be able to log in, you can do this. And I want to do one little thing. What I want to do, I want to do this, just delete this, and I want to redirect to a login page with a message. So I will say here just create a session of flash which say status and registered verify your email to activate your account. Okay, in this way we does not need this page, so we are doing this. And after this, what I want to do, I want to redirect to the login page. So I will say login here, and inside the login page, what I want to do, I want to say here if session has a status. That means if the session has a status, then you have to just echo that session. So if there is session, we get the session. So now go to login page. Yeah, it's correct, no error. Now register again. It says session not found here, session not found in the register controller. So I will use session here. Now give it a refresh and you can see it's loading, and now it will say get stored. There is a problem. Instead of this, what we can do here, the simple thing we can do is like this. If it is there, then this, delete this email, go here, delete this user, register again. Okay, see if it is working or not. And yep, registered, but verify your email to activate your account. So we have successfully displayed this error here and we got the email. So when we go to this email, click here, it will return you 1, and obviously after this you can return it to login page also to log in. Okay, so I think we are logged in, so let's try to log in. And yep, we are logged in. The email verification system has been successfully created. So it's now your turn to style this things and make other routes also. So we will meet in the next episode where we will do again the new thing, and I will try to complete each and every request. So don't worry, and if you have any problem, feel free to comment me. If you have any problem in this episode or in anywhere of my episodes, please feel free to comment me. You can message me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. So we will meet in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.